Hey here, everybody. This is Dirk with D&P Home Inspection, and this is your mentor moment. A big thank you to all of you for tuning in, and a thank you to InterNACHI for supporting this podcast and helping us reach other inspectors, entrepreneurs, and small business owners. I'm glad you're here. Today, we are talking about something super simple yet incredibly powerful: the power of following up with customers. So, in this second podcast, this is what we will be talking about. No matter what line of work you're in, following up can be the difference between being forgotten or being unforgettable, between a quick transaction or a long term relationships. I get it. We really get busy and life does move fast. We complete the job, close the deal, and then finish the service and pretty much move on. That's what we end up doing. But the follow up, now that is the real connection people need, and it needs to happen. It makes them feel seen and heard, and it builds that trust. Okay. Talking about trust, I'm going to share this little story about something that happened to me. Um, I went through this retreat, and during this retreat, I was in going into a restaurant with my wife and my other one of my kids, and it was always brought to my attention to always open the door for women. So this elderly lady, she was kind of walking slow, and I kind of held the door for her. My wife went in, my child went in, and then I waited for her, and I said, "I'll wait for you." And she comes in, and she turns around and says, "Thank you." And she's kind of bitter in her face. She had this like, I don't know how to describe it. She was just, I don't know, she just felt mean. I don't know how else to describe it. So anyway, she said thank you, and I said, "You're worth it." She turned around like she was gonna punch me right in the face. And I kind of stepped back a little bit, and all of a sudden her eyes welled up and she said, "I needed to hear that today." We all can use that kind of encouragement, can't we? And this story really stuck with me. And it sticks with me even today because I know that a lot of people don't feel valued. And in this day and age, we got Facebook, we got Instagram, we got all these social media outposts. And it seems like people are getting left behind because they're almost like, here is my show, but where are they really at inside? So a quick thank you message is something that you can do to help your business. The At that moment that lady did that, it really wasn't about business. It was about being human, about showing people that they matter. And that's the real power behind following up. It's not just about repeat business or referrals. It's about making people feel appreciated. They need to feel valued. They need to feel remembered. And I think we're really lacking that in this day and age. So a quick follow up is really cool. So let's talk about following up in the ways that works. And this is what's worked for me in my business and in other businesses that I was. I was a salesman for 15 years. And so I really learned how to uh, get a grasp on what people really wanted to see and hear. For instance, my first podcast, I'm talking a lot faster in. Someone told me you need to slow down. So guess what I'm doing? I'm slowing down. So taking that criticism and actually applying it to everyday work environment. Okay. The number one rule that you really should be done, and it isn't, and we were taught this since we were kids, is saying thank you. It's simple. The average person says thank you only about 2,000 times a year. And that's really a low number. We should be thanking people several times a day. When you get up in the morning, having that gratitude for, if you, especially if you have another spouse or someone that's in your house, just thanking them for being around. It's that simple. So like every inspection I do, I always send a quick thank you and a text email. And then a week later, about another 30 days, I get or sorry, about a week later, and then another one at 30 days, right? And it just needs to be genuine. And people can actually feel that generosity through those emails. I try to make them a little personal, but at the same time, I try to make them so that they're launched out at a certain time. And if I don't get to it, then it just automatically does it. But it just lets them know that they're appreciated, and I appreciate their business, because without customers, none of us have a job or a business to go to. Ivan Meisner from BNI, he talks about this as a 24/7/30 rule. And he says follow up within 24 hours with a certain person, whoever you're networking with, or your customers. Follow up. Then do it in 7 days. In 7 days, follow up with that customer. Then in 30 days, keep it simple and effective. Reach out and ask them what they need is the second thing. So after that initial 24, check in a week later. Just check in and ask if they have any questions. So like in my business, I give them a report. You might be a little different in your business, but you want to make sure that they're feeling valued. If you make them feel valued, you're going to in turn get business back from them. Connect them with people in your network. I always recommend join a networking group, join a chamber of commerce or something, so that you have a network of people behind you to give referrals out to. Be helpful, but don't be salesy. That's kind of a hard sell to say, because after the inspection and stuff, I could sell them, hey, do you want a 4 point, you want a wind mitigation, you want this, want that, whatever. I can sell them on this stuff, but that's not the time. The time is to build that relationship after the fact. Okay. After a month, you want to send something like a helpful tip or something. So in that 30 days, maybe clean out your gutters or something if you're a home inspector. If you're in the banking industry, or perhaps like a financial advisor or something, you'd probably want to send out like a monthly email just saying to your customers how much you appreciate them, and that um, what they're doing is working. Keeping it short and keep showing it up. Make sure that you refer them to your network as well. So that way you become that person that they need, not just want. So the fourth thing that I would say is ask for feedback. Now, people get kind of scared of this, and I don't really understand why, because if you're really putting into your business, you should be getting feedback back. Now, like I said earlier, that somebody told me that I need to talk slower. So that's a positive feedback, but I kind of took it negatively too. So, guess what? I learned from that mistake. I had one lady say that she didn't like how I wrote my reports. And I kind of took that offense, because I've been working on that same report for 5 years, building it to what I wanted. You hear what I'm saying? What I wanted. And I didn't look at what the customer needed. And so after I figured that out, I switched to a different report writing software, and things started taking off. So ask for those feedback. This shows that you care about growing. And guess what? People who give feedback are more likely to refer you. Ask for those Google reviews and don't be shy about it. They matter more than you think. Okay. Because when they go on Google, guess what? If there's a 4-star rating and there's 30 people that all had 4-star rating, guess what? You're probably not going to use that person. That instead, you're going to use that 5-star review person instead. Now, following up on referrals. So when someone does send you a lead, or gives you some sort of referral, you want to make sure that you call that person up. You want to make sure that you're going through the proper channels and going with them and asking them, hey, do you want me to follow up with this person now, or do you want me to wait a week? Do you want me to whatever? That way you keep building that loyalty between the person that gave you the referral, and that person will keep you in the loop for the future. And by keeping them in the loop, that builds a loyalty and a trust between both of you. So maybe you're now thinking, I don't want to bother people. But the truth is that when you follow up and when it's genuine, that's the key word, genuine. People don't feel bothered. They feel remembered. They feel cared for. They feel appreciated. So we want to keep that as a focus, a scene cure for all, basically. Um, the business is built on trust. And if you're building your business on trust, you need to have the consistency. And I'm going to share this other story with you. And I got a couple of them here, but I'm going to share this one with you. My cousins had these two kids, and I swear to God, I could bring them at age 3 to a 5-star restaurant. They would sit quietly and be polite. Thank you. You're welcome. Whatever. They were perfect. And so I went to my cousin and I said, how did you get your kids so well behaved? And he says, you really want to know? And I'm like, yes, tell me. I want to write this stuff down. I want to make sure that I'm going to take notes on this. I'm going to write it on every mirror in the in my place. So when I have kids, I'm going to have the best kids ever. And he says, it's really simple. Okay. Be consistent and teach them no. We, as business owners, as adults, we have a hard time being consistent. We have a hard time telling ourselves no. I want a new car. I want this. I want that. Well, maybe if you're consistent with the little things, you'll be consistent in the big things too. And well, who knows what will happen? So here's your challenge. I want you to go back and pick 3 of your past customers. Okay. I want you to reach out and just send them a thank you, even email, whatever, and just ask them how they're doing and then offer them, do you need any assistance? And you'll be surprised how many people will actually email you back, or they might not. But do this every week, then watch what happens. You'll start standing out. You'll start growing. And most importantly, you'll build a business that lasts. So, anyways, that's really it for today's mentor moment. I hope this gave you something practical to work with. I hope it's meaningful to you. I hope you're really getting a lot out of this. So I'm Dirk with DNP Home Inspections, reminding you to serve with excellence, follow up with heart, and always let people know they're worth it. Thanks for listening. Until next time, stay sharp, stay safe, and stay connected. Bye.